It's
Welcome everyone to a heart-stopping, pulse-pounding season finale of Always Open.
Yeah!
I'm your host, Barbara Dunkman, and with me today I got some sweet boys and girls.
Just one.
Oh, boy and girl.
Boy.
Boys and girl.
I'm Chris.
I thought you were just gonna be like, I'm boy.
I'm boy.
Boy.
Hello, I'm Miles.
Hello, I'm Girl Miles. It's me, Mariel.
It's like Bird Box.
Your friendly
You.
neighborhood female version of Miles.
I was hoping you were gonna say Spider-Man, and then that would have been a double revelation.
You've never used that one.
I've never gone to Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I know, it's because it's the original. I took it off of there, you know? So.
Has everybody here seen Spider-Man in
Not
Spider-Verse?
yet, not yet.
It's so
not yet.
good.
Just
I know.
Everybody, I have seen it 4 times, going to 5th maybe this
Everyone that
weekend.
I know who has seen it more than once.
It's one of my favorite movies ever.
It is.
Really
And I just needed everyone to know that here at the table and watching at home.
Yeah, highly recommended for Miles. I feel like I watched that movie last weekend, and I was like, I have to see this 8 more times in order to fully see everything.
It's a
Need to watch
tasty
it.
bite of entertainment.
Yes. It
You can
is.
I like that.
Hey, Sony, you can put that on the box. Yeah.
Miles Luna.
I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil anything, but there's a character who is a pig in that movie.
We already
What?
spoiled it.
and,
I know to expect pigs.
and like the eyes move, but also the nostrils move like their eyes, like they blink and stuff.
Yeah.
It got me the whole time.
John Mulaney's
notice
so
that.
good.
Yeah.
Notice
Yeah.
that.
Oh, watch it again.
There you go.
Yeah.
For no time. Well, thank you guys for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
It's our season finale of Always Open. We'll be back again
Yeah.
in March.
It's less of a finale, more of just like a break where we take and we do some
Soul
Soul searching?
soul searching.
We can go find ourselves?
We find ourselves. Barbara and I find each other.
I tend to lose myself, and then I find myself again.
Like Eminem.
Yeah, she lost herself in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you own it.
You're gonna.
I don't know any other lyrics. to that song.
I don't
Mom
either.
spaghetti.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Is that the same song? It is the same. Mm-hmm. Okay. We're not.
Have you seen the YouTube remix where somebody just took Mom's spaghetti and made that every single line of the song?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
let's go.
I know what we're doing after this recording, bud.
Going to see
that's-
Spider-Man, listening to that song.
Yeah. What are we doing now, though?
We're doing our shot,
Ooh.
which
Oh, you sound so excited.
I'm not looking forward to this one. This is.
2 things I don't like in this shot.
I'm gonna guess it's the name of the shot as well that you don't like. This is called "Come in a Hot Tub."
I don't like hot tubs and I don't like cum.
You don't like hot tubs? What are you, a monster?
just kidding.
I fucking hate hot tubs, but love cum. So this is just like, you know, it's a mixed bag for me, too.
I get it. No, I like hot tubs. I was just trying to make a joke, Barbara. That's what we do on the show. We
Oh,
make jokes.
haha, yeah.
It looks like coming hot.
What is in this?
So this has 2
Also-
parts vodka, 1 part white rum, and a couple drops of Bailey's.
Oh, cool.
It's just pure liquor. I think this might be not the worst sounding shot and the worst tasting shot we've ever had.
Well, we
So,
haven't tasted it.
Who sent it and why do they hate us?
You'll love this. A person named Alex Xavier
Alex Xavier.
submitted this shot, which I don't.
That's the name of 2 kids standing on top of each other wearing a trench coat. That's who that is.
They're like, I love alcohol.
It makes
Try
it like,
this.
like come in a hot tub, send it.
All right, guys. Well,
so cloudy.
this might be the last thing we remember. This very moment.
To come in a hot tub.
To come in a hot tub.
come in a-
Cheers.
Coming in a hot tub.
haba.
Tastes just like the real thing.
Oh, great. That was like a goose call. It's not good,
Oh,
but we're
God.
all still here. Oh, please don't. Please don't. I can't
That's
do that.
not a good, not a good feeling.
No, that was usually our shot. Like even our bad shots are like a little fruity, a
It just
little
goes,
something.
Okay, that was it. Okay.
That was just pure liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shot was like, hey, excuse me, do you have a second for me to fuck your shit up? Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Texas, while he was making it, he said this is what he used to give people when they were just assholes.
When you were bartending. Okay, well, before we get into things, I would
Yes.
like to bring up something.
Uh-oh.
On a couple episodes way back, we had Lindsay on the show. You might have been on that episode too, Miles. I'm not
Who's
sure.
to say?
We discussed the topic of hot dogs came up, whether or not a hot dog was a sandwich,
It's bullshit.
and it was a very heated debate. I think it always will be a heated debate through the internet. What do you guys think?
Absolutely not, no.
Not a
No.
sandwich.
No.
Not a sandwich.
I can't remember what I said then, but I think yes.
I think a hot dog is closer to the taco genus than it is the sandwich.
Then what's like a hoagie? sandwich.
That's
That's the missing link, and you done found it.
Oh.
You done did it.
Hoagies.
It's hot dogs. Hot dogs are they're in the wrap family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting take.
And,
on it.
in my humble opinion.
you could make a flat hot dog and put it like you could construct a hot dog
Chris,
sandwich.
Hey, Chris, you know what that's called? A bologna fucking sandwich.
Oh yeah.
They done did it already,
Yeah.
which should negate the conversation. You already have your sandwich version of a hot dog. That's a bologna sandwich.
Interesting. Well, luckily we have another hot take from someone very special, near and dear to our hearts, who's
Santa.
gonna be starring in an upcoming show called Genlock, which premieres on
must?
roosterteeth.com January 26th, which is like next
Really quick.
week.
It's soon, y'all.
Two.
It's real soon.
It's coming. And so we have our friend Michael B. Jordan, who wants to help settle
Under the
that debate.
table. Oh my God.
Hey, come on out!
Him and Gray are here to answer the question. So let's roll the clip.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. I'm gonna say a hot dog is a hot dog. But a sandwich, I feel like.
Well, there are these boxes to be checked. So it's bread and either side of some meat-like product.
Well, I mean, because like you gotta have a hot dog without the bun, right?
Yeah.
Then it would still be a hot dog.
Ha
Right. So, but like a sandwich, you have to have like cold cuts or some type of like cheese sticks. Okay, grilled cheese. Is it a grilled cheese sandwich or is it just a grilled cheese?
My mind is blown.
I liked the man until then. He's wrong. He's wrong.
I thought he brought
makes
up a good point.
Yeah.
The hot dog is still a hot dog even without the bun.
Yeah, because if you have bologna without the
That's
with
just a
bread,
weenie dog.
It's just bologna.
What if you did this? What if you took a hot dog as it is, put it between two pieces of sandwich bread?
Is it
Then
a
it's
hot dog sandwich?
I mean, that's
Then it's a hot dog sandwich. But in a bun, it's not a hot dog sandwich.
Well, maybe next time we get Michael B. Jordan for some questions, we could ask him that.
There you go.
We'll pose a follow-up to that.
We don't want to waste your time, but we have something really important.
Yeah.
he's gonna be like, fuck the hot dog people are back. God damn it. I
make
just signed
sure-
on to do some anime.
I didn't ask for hard questions. So make sure you check out Genlock coming up in a couple days. So excited. We all got a chance to see the first.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Miles has probably seen way more than we have, being over at Animation.
I've seen some things. I've read some pages. I'm super excited for everybody to watch it. I
Yeah.
think it's the bee's knees, y'all.
It's gonna be great.
Other than Always Open is probably the best thing Rooster Teeth makes.
Right.
Oh snap!
Yep.
And some other things.
Yo, Strangerhood. Never forget.
Oh, right.
yeah, come on.
Forget.
Credit where credit's
sure.
due.
Nature Town.
Yes, of course.
Nature Town. I forgot about Nature Town. Let's
too
not go
young.
down this memory.
I'm too young, you guys. I'm too young.
Let's just stay here. Hold on to the always open table and don't let the past take you.
Don't think about it. All right, well, we're going to play a game of Cupidity where we take questions from OK Cupid and rapid fire them to each of you.
Okay, okay.
And Chris, would you like to go first?
Yeah, let's do it.
Being
I'm ready.
that you are beside me. Got our timer good to go, I assume. All right, and go. If your date told you they were in the pornography business in a non-sexual way, would it bother you?
No.
Do you feel that your values or priorities vary wildly from those of your peers?
No.
Are traditional gender roles important in a romantic relationship?
No.
Have you ever tasted your own sexual fluid?
Not on purpose.
And there it is.
I need follow-up.
I think I feel like I maybe talked about this before, but like things you're going at, you're masturbating, right?
We know what it looks like. You don't have to.
Yeah, and then it shoots out, and then like it's not a terrible distance to hit from the crotch to the mouth.
Okay, now I need to, all right, and I don't mean to interrupt you there, Chris, but when you say it shoots out, you seem to imply that there's some sort of like web-like eruption area of effect attack that if you happen to be yawning during your climax, it's just something that's gonna happen. This is a relatively small target.
But it's direct. It's like
So do you
directly-
masturbate like this?
No. If I'm like laying
looking
down,
down?
if you're laying down in bed,
Yeah.
all right. God, I can't believe I'm actually going through the logistics of this.
No,
You're
please
laying-
do.
Do you mind if I?
Please,
Yep.
by all means.
Let's
Come here.
okay.
No, I got you, bud.
You're laying in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you do.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, that's being a little generous there, Chris. Come on.
And then you finish. It's like pointed directly up it's just like a.
God,
I'm not saying it's
Do
on.
you like your view right now of this going on?
I feel like now I'm in the splash zone. I'm a little afraid. No. What the? I just can't. Unless you're like, well, time to masturbate. Here's some Kleenex. Here's some lotion. Time to put the funnel in. Like, I don't understand how this is
I
happening.
understand what you're saying though, because it is pointed in the general direction.
It's pointing in the general direction.
Although I am quite impressed with your shooting power.
Oh, so wait, I've also.
It's range.
This is also telling me a lot more information than I want to know about you. But from what I'm hearing here, you're just like a, we're just gonna shoot this thing and then deal with cleanup afterwards type gentleman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no. I mean, typically it's like lands on. It's a stomach general region, right?
Yeah, so then you can just do a wipe.
Yeah, and then you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like.
What do you? How do you prepare?
Maybe I'm a weirdo. Maybe I'm a weirdo.
Occasionally, there's like, really.
Ricochet?
No, not ricochet. Just really, it's a powerful day, I guess, and things go places.
It's a powerful day. Does your fucking motivational calendar say that? Like when you're getting ready, you're getting.
It's a good morning.
A powerful day.
Yeah, it's kind of like you know it's gonna be a good day when you accidentally come in your mouth.
Just let that sit. Okay, now that's the appropriate amount of time that everybody's digested.
I know. I'm scared.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm not.
okay.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Oh, I liked it though.
I just figured, I don't know, if you'd be laying on your back unless you're like staring straight at it.
I
You,
mean,
like
I
make
just-
eye contact.
Are you like propped? Like okay.
Well, okay.
Because everyone I assume masturbates in a different position. Some people like sitting.
Like-
some people like standing. Some people like lying down.
Yeah, lying down, leaned up against,
some
watching
pillows.
porn. Yeah, watching porn, something, right? And then
Or something.
Well,
Animal videos.
yeah, watching porn.
Planet Earth.
And then it's like it's all there. The logistics are clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It just depends on the what kind of day it is.
If it's a good day, you come in your mouth. It's not.
It's not on purpose. It's just more like a.
I like how then you go to like
Get an extra taste. I don't like this topic of
Jesus.
conversation.
always open, my friends.
Oh,
We're
man.
back.
We're back. We tried to. It always comes back. We just
does.
can't help it.
Yeah. You guys bring out the best in us. All right, Mr. Miles.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Miles, Luna. Mm-hmm. You ready to go?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, and go. Have you ever entered into a relationship out of desperation?
Probably high school, yeah.
Do you like being in a car with someone else who's driving extremely fast?
No.
Do you often find yourself doing things just to say you did them?
Sometimes, yeah.
Would you have sex with someone who has very unusual physical features just for the novelty of doing it?
No, it's not like a trophy buck, Jesus.
Do you read erotic fiction?
Not often, but sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
what kind? Like fan fiction?
Spider-Man into the Spider.
As the Green Goblin came down. No, like I've
Ejaculated into his own mouth.
I've gone through, because it's never something that I've sought out, but like they'll be like, you'll just scroll through a Tumblr and it's like, hey, here's a fic about this or something. I'll be like,
Right.
oh, okay. That's,
Oh, this person's a
Justice
good
League,
writer.
huh? Interesting. Oh, Bruce would do that. It's very much in line with his character.
Is it?
It is. He's a gentleman. People just don't know it.
And you think you've entered into a relationship out of desperation?
Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I think one of my first girlfriends, I think we just ended up dating because she was the first girl that expressed physical attraction to me.
Oh, yeah.
And like there came a point where I realized that in our relationship and we broke up. But I was just like, oh, like it was just the first time that like anybody had been like, you're not super gross, and I was like, thanks.
Thanks, let's hold hands.
I had super low self-confidence for a very long time. Like my first.
Up until when, do you think?
What day is it?
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, one of my first like romantic interactions with a person, I was in elementary school and I told this girl that I thought she was really pretty, and her response to me was, "You're an ugly troll," and I think that really had an effect on my confidence for.
What was her name?
Her name was.
Was it Lizzie?
No, I think her name was Barbie, and I shit you not, I think her name was Barbie.
Was it you?
I did not call myself Barbie.
No, it was like third grade or
terrible.
something. Well, it's because what it was we did a like a school or class play, I think, of the Three Billy Goats Gruff, and I was cast as the troll under the bridge. So I guess she was just doing a deep burn
Yeah.
right there.
Typecast.
Yeah, I guess so, right? But yeah, no, that ruined me for so long. I was also like I didn't know how to talk to people until like high school, I guess. Like I was super quiet, introverted kid that just
Let
drew
alone the opposite
SpongeBob.
sex.
Oh God, no, they're horrifying. Like I would never. Like after that first experience, I was like terrified to talk to girls.
What a
So, yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, she was in the
fine,
3rd grade,
Barbie.
but like, what a bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Barbie.
How dare you?
I know
Fuck
that's
you.
enough.
Children can be incredibly hurtful.
Oh,
They
God,
can
they're
be.
mean.
I could only imagine what it's like going to school nowadays with social media.
And Fortnite. Everybody's flossing. You don't know how to floss. It's really, no, yeah. There's a million new ways to bully people now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like internet bullying and well, cyberbullying, I guess technically is what it's called. But like, I can't imagine having social media growing up and just that feeling, because you already feel like you're being left out of so much in high school, and then getting that and like competing for social attention too. I just can't even imagine.
Remember the fucking battle royale insanity that MySpace had, which was the top 8 friends list? What fucking sociopath? Tom was at MySpace like, let's ruin friendship. Let's make it a competition.
Because
Let's go.
it wasn't just the top 8, right? You had your top 8, but then you had to rank them.
Yeah.
So you were like, you made it.
And can I
But
tell
you're
you?
my 8th shittiest friend.
And I'll tell you, I fucking played into that shit. I was like,
fuck yeah.
Spencer was pretty tight to me today, so here we go. Just gonna go ahead and pop you up to numero uno. Good job there, Spence. Steve,
Yeah.
maybe next week.
What are you
we
gonna
should've worked
do
on it.
for me?
Right?
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah.
Didn't they adjust it to like a top 14 or something? Or
I
I
don't
remember they extended.
And that's
the
when
number.
they went downhill.
That was, yeah,
That's
a
what
lot of
killed
people say that was the
MySpace, yeah.
turning point for MySpace.
Do you think if you guys could name a top 8 right now, like not actually name it, but in your head, like a top 8 of your friends, or
Probably, yeah.
I only have 4 of them, like 4 friends.
1, 2, 3.
No.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet.
Hi, Chris.
I would have to double just those 4 friends. Just, there you go. You're on there twice.
That's an honor.
Damn.
All right, Miss Merle. Ready to go?
Hey, Barbara, let's do it.
And go. Do you believe reason is more important than emotions in solving problems?
Oh, I'd like to think so.
When it comes to coordinating with friends to get together, do you typically initiate contact or wait for friends to contact you?
Initiate.
When having sex, do you like to have your hair pulled?
I've never done it.
Sex?
Never had that.
Oh. Would you date someone who was looking for true love but no sex at all ever?
That would be tough for me. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a hard maybe.
I mean, if you are into a sexual experience with people, it's hard to.
Yeah. Well, it could also, that's why open relationships exist, right?
Yeah.
Like you have your person and you're like, this is my person, but we can't give each other this one thing, so I'm gonna go off and do that, but I still have this person that I love and care for, so it could work.
And never had your hair pulled, huh?
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
Oh.
I just like to keep you on your toes.
Oh.
I don't like it though. I don't like kind of mean, like it's not mean, but I'm
Yeah.
not into
Violence.
violence. Certain acts of violence.
I've only ever had my hair pulled when it's been like from behind. And I always like feel like because like my neck is arched so back so the hair could be pulled, and I'm always just like, you know when you get really close in your throat that you're like, oh, this feels good. And it's like a very unsexy feeling.
Right. Yes.
But like if someone wants to do it, like,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm sure there's been times I can't think of a specific one. But I don't know. It's just not my thing, you know?
Just
Teach
reach
around.
across the table and just
Pull it.
Ding ding. Hello.
ding ding, hello, come on in.
Hey, it's me. I hope you're having a great time. Okay, bye. I'm just gonna be back here.
All right. This is bright yellow paper. Okay. You ready? And go. If you were to die, would whoever goes through your personal belongings be shocked by what they find?
No.
Would you like to receive pain during sex?
No.
What kind of rides do you like at amusement parks?
Roller coasters, but not the ones that spin.
Would you consider dating someone who has extensive facial tattoos?
No.
Imagine your date starts groping you in the car while you're driving. Which would you be more likely to do? Pull over immediately and return the favor, find the nearest hotel room, roll with the flow and keep driving, or tell them to stop.
If we're on a highway, I'd probably tell them to stop. But
So safe.
if I'd probably pull over and continue, depending on the area.
Where are you at if you're on a highway? You tell them to stop. Okay.
Yeah.
On your way to HEB.
That's too public. I'd probably say like, well,
Let's
wait.
pull in, get some lube, come back out.
It's dangerous doing that shit in cars.
Oh yeah.
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 You guys Roadhead ended up?
Well, I talked about this, I think, in
Yeah,
Always Open.
you have,
We did,
you
yes.
So yes.
Yeah.
You have.
I don't know if we.
I went to the nearest parking lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My first boyfriend I ever had, we used to, because like we both lived at home, so it was very hard to find time to have sex
Sure.
when you're a teenager living with your whole family.
Oh yeah.
So we actually found a school that had like an abandoned parking lot, and we used to go there and like have sex in his car,
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect place to get stabbed and penetrated.
Oh yeah.
which is also penetrated.
I do
If you
think
think about it.
there is a difference though between a moving car and like a parked car.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
100%.
Because parked cars, like I think that's pretty common.
I
Do
used
you
to.
think that, oh, go ahead.
Especially when you're a teen.
I was gonna say a very similar thing in high school. The very first person I dated, we would go behind like, it was like her housing development was here, and then there's just a bunch of like dirt roads and fields, and then we would just go park there in the middle of the day. But it was so obvious. Like here's just this car, middle of the day.
The windows are fogged.
And there's no one around, but
We,
here's this guy.
my girlfriend in high school and I, there was a neighborhood being built between our two neighborhoods where we lived, and so we would sometimes ride our bikes and go meet up at this neighborhood being built and fool around in the houses that are still under construction.
God. That's
cool.
There's this one house. Every time I pass it, I'm just like, I got a blowjob in what's probably your child's bedroom.
Is that the heavy metal blowjob girl?
No, it's not. No.
That's
That was a after that experience, I don't know if I can talk to you again because you kind of scare me now.
Yeah.
Sort of situation.
That's still my
That
favorite
was-
story.
I don't think I heard.
It's a great story.
It's a story.
Was
It's
it your
definitely,
first one?
That was my first oral sex moment.
Yeah,
Yes, and it was a lot.
And-
Got handcuffed to a bed while death metal played when I just went over there to study Spanish with her. It was.
Damn, you got handcuffed on your first blowjob? Yeah.
Chris is like, I have to wait for my third for that.
There is this fear deep down inside me that like a lot of my first experiences have like warped who I am as a human. First romantic interaction, you told you're a monster, you're disgusting. First blowjob, I'm gonna chain you to this bed and play death metal. I don't know who that's made me.
It explains a lot about you.
Yeah, when you really think about it, like David as a character in Camp Camp, like who is he really, you know?
Oh, I'm sure
Unless I'm
he's
just
into
bullshitting.
some kinky shit.
No, he's not. He has no idea what he's doing.
He's a
sweet boy, though.
About that.
Camp Camp season 4 coming soon.
Yeah. Season not safe for work.
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we move on, you know what time it is?
What time is it, Barbara?
It's time to thank Movement. This episode of Always Open is brought to you by Movement. It's our favorite underdog success story. Founded on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank, they've sold almost 2 million watches worldwide by bringing quality designs at fair prices. We are huge fans of Movement. We love the watches and their sunglasses and their bracelets and everything they got going on, especially the Hyde style, which both me and Meryl have.
I do.
And Trevor. Me and Trevor were matching Movement sunglasses.
You know, I
when
should
we
have
were-
gone on vacation with you guys.
I know, we would have
could've
been like the Three Musketeers
Yeah.
or something. Movement watches are all about looking good while keeping it simple. They don't tell you how many steps you've taken or blow your wrist up with text messages. They're not overly intrusive on life with notifications, text messages, emails, etc. They tell the time like true classic timepieces should and look good doing it. Movement watches start at just $95. You're typically looking at $400 for the same quality from a traditional brand. Movement has sold almost 2 million watches in over 160 countries, and you, our audience, could get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movement.com/open. Movement's launching new styles on their site all the time, so make sure to check out their latest at mvmt.com. Go to movement.com/open and join the movement.
Join it.
Dang, son.
Yeah.
That copy was dope.
Thank you. I read it myself.
You really brought the energy on that. I loved it and I respected it.
It is funny though how when there's like a style of sunglasses that multiple people you know have, because like you just see each other from across the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like zoom, zoom,
Oh, yeah.
zoom.
This is a thing I learned semi-recently. Do you know about the Jeep Wave?
What's the
Yes,
Jeep Wave?
Blaine taught me about the
Yeah,
Jeep
I
Wave.
learned it from Lane.
Yeah.
Thank you, Toto.
You're so welcome,
Do you know about
brother.
the Jeep Wave?
The Jeep Wave. I don't know
We
what
used to drive a Jeep. Well,
Oh, yeah, I did. I've driven a few Jeeps.
Yeah.
So you should know about the Jeep Wave.
But I don't know what the Jeep Wave
Hey,
is.
hey,
Wave.
it's
Why do I
pretty
know?
much exactly what
I feel left out now.
apparently
driving?
the rule is you drive in your Jeep, you see other Jeep, you go, wave.
Oh, is it? Is
It's
it?
like a- it's
is
like-
it specifically a?
No,
a
it's
two-finger wave
it's
or
just like
a
it's
wave?
just like a. I see you.
Ah.
I see you, Jeep owner.
Maybe I've done
nice.
that. See, people in the country do that though. It's like when you have big trucks.
Right,
So that's like, you know, that's what we used to do because I'm from the country and I would drive like anytime I was in my big truck,
Oh, yeah.
it would never fail.
Well,
like a
even
little
like small
wave.
towns, it's
Oh, yeah.
always anyone you're passed by. It doesn't matter. Just,
Yeah, they wave at you. It's
I've
kind of.
had to get used to people doing that.
Yeah.
just you're like,
Because like
know you?
Canada, people didn't do it, but for some reason in Austin, like just driving around my neighborhood and people like I don't know you.
No one ever waves at me in my car.
oh, wonder why.
Is it a Jeep?
No, I just have a really boring car.
Oh well.
Maybe that's why.
I'll wave at you if I see
You need to come up with a boring car wave.
You're welcome.
Yeah. He just turns the steering wheel instead. Yeah, that's the Jeep wave.
Jeep wave. Now
Jeep
y'all know.
wave.
Don't. Hey, if you don't own a Jeep, don't fucking wave at other people, okay? The Jeep people will get you.
They'll come after
They'll
you.
come over. They'll have their all-terrain wall-wheel drive, and they'll come over anything you put in front of them. Yeah.
They'll come all over it.
Just like Chris.
Yep.
See, you were a Jeep waver in.
Oh. Thank
Now
you.
you're going right for the nipple on that one.
I could
Right
have.
in here. All right, well, let's move on to our next segment. This is a question submitted by Emma S. And Emma writes, have you ever had a relationship that felt just like a friendship?
Oh yeah. All the time. That's the worst thing about dating women. You're like,
Are you?
are we friends or am I into you? Am I into you? Are we just friends?
Ooh,
Happens
that's so
constantly.
interesting.
Was there ever one that you actually like entered into a relationship that you thought would be more romantic and it just ended up being?
Oh yeah, plenty. In college especially. There was one girl I dated, and we actually met when I was like visiting friends in New York, and she came down and visited me a few times, and this is so terrible. Oh, I'm so bad. She was in town visiting during Hurricane Sandy. And it was at that moment that I was like, oh, this isn't gonna work out. Like, I really think we're just gonna be like good friends. But then she ended up getting stuck in Austin for days.
Like after you did that?
She didn't know if her family was. They're fine. They're fine. They're okay.
So you ended things before or after the hurricane?
During maybe? I didn't know.
You didn't know it was about to happen.
I can't predict the weather.
Well, some people can. They're called meteorologists. There's kind of a whole profession surrounding it.
There's probably on the news all over the place.
Yeah, actually. But so yeah, it was one of those things. We're friends now.
That's
we're
good.
friends now.
That's very good.
It was very much like it took her some time to get over that. And
Listen,
I was
there
like,
is no good time to end a
Oh
relationship.
no.
with someone.
Sometimes you can do it during a hurricane.
But maybe not
Maybe
during
don't.
a hurricane.
Yeah.
But maybe like right after.
Yeah.
Like, if it was in my MySpace top 8, I would not put breaking up during a hurricane at like number 1. Maybe a 5.
Right.
Maybe a 5.
Maybe.
I don't know if this will be a polarizing opinion, but I feel like relationships should be majority friendships. Like I feel like if you are not friends with the person you're dating, that's not gonna work out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I know there's also some differing opinions on whether or not the person you're dating should be your best friend, because people are like, oh, this is like a different kind of relationship. You should have best friends outside of the relationship and have like some type of boundaries between. But for me, having my significant other as my best friend just makes it all that better. It makes that relationship that much stronger, in my opinion. I've had other relationships before that have started off very romantic, and then as time passed,
Yeah.
you lose that romantic
Yeah.
feeling, and then it becomes like now it just feels like
I've been there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I think a relationship that feels like a friendship is good. It depends on how you're using that word. It's like, is the person that I'm romantically interested in also a friend that I like hanging out with all the time? Oh, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. But if it's like, hey, the person that I'm romantically interested in doesn't seem to be romantically interested in me anymore, and now it just kind of feels like we're friends, that is then something that you should talk to them about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like especially if it turns into, oh, it just feels like we're roommates.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
I've also had the thing where it's more like where maybe we're not like romantic, but we're more like friends. It's more like a friends with benefits type thing where we're just like friends who
fuck?
also
Has that ever worked out? Have you ever had a successful any of you guys?
Nope.
I mean,
I have too.
yeah, I have. I mean, but it's like, it's just you got to be careful because then you're playing that thing where it's like if someone catches feelings,
Right.
then you gotta have to like.
Yeah.
Well, the what stereotype is always that like that's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
But I've had successful.
Me too. I actually had one not too long ago during that stint of me being single for a little bit. I had a friend who I've known him for a while. I've always thought he was cute, and then like we just ended up going on a date and finding out that like we liked each other, but not like both of us had just gotten out of relationships, so we
Right.
weren't interested in dating. And so we just ended up hanging out and then like hooked up. But it was like, I would talk to him about his Tinder dates that he would go on, and I would tell him about mine, and then I'd be like, do you want to hang out tonight? Like, I'm bored, whatever. And then like I started telling him if like other relationships I was having started getting more serious, and he'd be like really supportive of it. It was truly like the most friends with benefits type of situation I'd ever been in.
Dang, son.
And I was lucky that it worked out that
Oh,
way.
yeah.
And that neither of us felt
I think that's
romantic.
rare, but it happens.
Yeah.
Which people always think it's like doomed to fail. It's like some people it works out for.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't necessarily recommend it all the time.
No.
Yeah.
It's you both have to be on the same page.
Yeah.
About like what you want.
And also be constantly communicating that.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, right off the bat when that gets started, you could start discussing of like, here's my expectations for this, here's what I'm hoping to get out of it. But having that check-in pretty frequently is good
Yeah.
too, instead of just like leaving it at that and going on with it,
Yeah.
because you never know. What about you, Chris?
Oh,
Any
well, that was kind of my
relationships?
answer. Yes.
So you have.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, definitely more that's like, it also depends on how you define a relationship, or if it's like you're dating, but then you just kind of become friends who, maybe you don't end up being it's like a serious romantic relationship, but you're still friends and you still like mess around sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that.
I feel like that's a big reason why a lot of the relationships I've had have ended, is because it did just start feeling like friendships
Right.
and not so much romantic anymore.
Yeah.
And that happens. People change.
And like that's the other thing too, is like long term, that's gonna happen. Like as you get older, your libido's gonna all that, and nature's gonna be a real asshole, and
Yeah.
just be like, hey, we don't really. That is the one thing that's like, if your relationship, I feel like if you're in a long term relationship and your number one reason as to why this long term relationship works is that, oh, the sex is great, I would be careful in that situation, because
Yeah.
that's not always gonna be there. There still needs to be something more there. You know,
Well,
so-
I've said this on the show before, that sex is either 10% of a good relationship or 90% of a bad relationship.
interesting.
That's a
And
good.
that-
Damn. She's dropping.
It's funny because I've said, and people watching the show are gonna be like, she said that on like 8 other episodes, but it's always new guests.
yeah, man.
So they didn't know that.
Learning,
You learn.
edutainment.
Yeah, it's also one of those things where I think people just starting out in relationships don't necessarily understand that at first, most relationships, a lot of them, are very sexually driven.
Oh yeah.
And like, you're gonna be fucking all the time, hooking up all the time, looking
Coming
for
in each other's mouths.
yeah, maybe your own mouth if you can't handle it.
Ugh.
And then like to have the expectation that that is going to be the consistent behavior throughout the whole relationship is very unrealistic.
Oh yeah.
For the most part. I'm sure there are plenty of couples in the world who are like loving it, having sex all the time,
Right.
constantly, years and years and years into their relationship, but it's not that typical. It tends to be really hot at the beginning and then gets more leveled out.
Get into a routine.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also it gets more serious, where it's like you're having fun and just being wild, crazy kids, and you're just like, oh, we want to do this because we want to like have an intimate moment together.
And now we're learning how to share our lives together.
Yeah. There's been studies too that's like, I think it's within, and please don't quote me on this, but I think it's within the time frame of 9 months to 3 years is about as long as like your body will like, when you see that person that you're with, like you just get flooded with dopamine and a bunch of other like chemicals that are like, yeah, this person rules, let's fuck. And then between the 9 month and 3 year period, that just naturally, your body stops doing that.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen, scientifically, chemically speaking, that's going to happen.
I'd be very impressed if people still have that feeling after that long. Yeah. Whoa! Let's fuck. All right, we're gonna move on to something that I quite enjoy.
You love your little dice.
These are conversation dice.
Okay.
Which this segment we have named Dice Breakers.
I like it.
Oh.
So what you do is you take 3 dice, you
Okay.
roll them, and then read out the 3 words that appear on the dice, and think of a story or anecdote or whatever with those 3 words. If you get shitty words, you could re-roll. We don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Although we won't invite you back on the show. If you re-
Ever again.
Oh, okay. No pressure.
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll do it. Sure.
Okay. Here, you could pick.
Why did you take them out?
I tried to take them out just to make it easier.
3?
Yeah.
All right.
And you can't
Let's
reroll.
see. Okay, that is Youth Disaster City. That sounds like a really bad like end of the world movie.
Some Spider-Man.
Godzilla.
Okay, there was a youth involved with this thing that happened to me like 2 weeks ago.
A youth.
There was a youth, and it was a bit of a disaster the more I think about it. Okay,
How old was the youth?
probably like 19 or 20. So I was working at home, and it was like middle of the afternoon, and I swear I don't mean to get too blue here, but so this story starts off. I was doing a poo. I was doing a poo, and finishing up my business.
As you do.
And I hear a knock at the door. Again, it's like 2, 3 in the afternoon, and I think to myself, like, I'm not expecting any guests at this time on a weekday.
In this bathroom.
In this bathroom, in my home, in this apartment, in Austin, Texas, no. But then I remembered, I was like, oh, I ordered something from Amazon. Like, maybe I need to like be there in person to get it. Like, I don't want to miss my package. So I very quickly, I'm like, oh, I gotta do a zip, and I run.
Pooping?
I was done pooping.
Did you wipe? Did you wipe?
I did do a wipe.
Okay.
A wipe?
I did do enough wipes.
Okay, all right.
Chris.
Like, I did a wipe.
What is this? Is some interrogation.
On average, how many wipes?
Oh, I do too many. I do like 10, and maybe like it's a lot.
How many
maybe a little.
take to get?
The center of the
Nope.
brown
All right.
eye.
No wipes will ever be enough for that.
The world may never know. Anyways, I finish my biz. I hike up them britches. I run to get to the front door, and I open the door, and there is no package, but there is a young man wearing an AT&T outfit with a clipboard.
Oh, good.
And I'm like, oh, hello. And he says, hey, good afternoon, sir. Wow, what a nice apartment. What great weather we're having. I'm so happy to be alive. I was like, yeah, what's up? And so this dude's going around door to door. He's like, you know, I represent AT&T. We have this new AT&T fiber. It's really great. I know a lot of people here have Spectrum. And I go, I'm just gonna stop you right now. I already use AT&T for internet, for my phone, all it. I'm happy with it. It's great. We don't need to change anything. So are we good? And then I was like, oh yeah, that's great. Well, sorry to bother you, man. Have a great day. And that's when I realized, as he stuck out his hand to shake mine, I had not washed my hands.
No!
And so, like, time slowed down. And like I instinctively, you know, the right arm's going for it this is what we do in society.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, no, you can't do this. You have poopy hands. You cannot shake this young, innocent man's hand. And so then halfway through, I start to retract. I'm like, no, we can't do this. And so what this leads to is this kid just like grabs my sausage fingers like a bouquet of roses and like gives a weird tug, and then we kind of like lock eyes.
Chris,
Yeah. So
I'll be the guy.
yeah, and then he, and we look at each other, acknowledging our faux pas, and he says, no, I wish that he had just shook it and that had been that. But he says, oh, my bad, let's try that again. And goes in, give me your hand, Chris. He goes in for like this deep, all-encompassing, like Hulkbuster fist. Like his hand just ate my hand.
He
and, like,
licks your hand.
Just like frictionless, like just his hands and my hand just fucked right there. And he just gripped it and he shook it and looked me dead in the eye and said, have a nice day. And he left, and I closed the door and immediately was just like filled with remorse that this kid's got poopy hands and like I didn't know what to do. But then it dawned on me. That kid's going door to door, shaking every hand.
You're patient
of
zero.
Every tenant
You're patient
in
zero
my
of the
apartment
zombie
complex.
apocalypse.
Everyone's gonna get pink eye
Hey,
at my
Miles,
home.
I guarantee you someone else in your apartment complex shook that guy's hand with poopy hands.
Thank you so much. That
with-
takes so much
yeah.
pressure off.
With cum hands, with cum mouth,
Oh, yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Chris was living right down the hallway. He just finished masturbating.
Yeah.
He thought Amazon Prime was here.
I don't want to, I'm going to regret saying this, but for some reason when you were telling that story, I was imagining after you let go, you know how like if a string of saliva's
I do.
just like a little poopy string.
Hey,
Just like,
hey, that's fucking gross. I went back.
Calling the kettle black over
Went
here.
back and I washed my hands, but it was like some fucking Shakespearean shit where I just couldn't get the blood off. So it was already done.
Goodness gracious.
So hey, sorry AT&T, our new parent company or whatever the hell.
yeah.
One of your employees got dookie hands.
One of our employees came in, he had pink eye. It was so weird.
So young, there was nothing we could have done.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
Would you
All
like
right.
to roll? Feel free to take some out here.
I'll just take,
take whatever you
3
want.
and secret coincidence online.
Oh!
Good. A secret online coincidence. A secret online coincidence.
Tell
Let's
us.
see here. A secret online coincidence.
Were you
I know-
talking to someone on Tinder who turned out to be your cousin?
No.
Random question.
What if he had been like, oh yeah? Like what would we have all done collectively as an audience?
did-
Tell us about it.
I did get catfished by someone.
You did?
Oh, no.
Yeah, like a real, not recently, but I got catfished by and it was someone I had like talked with on a dating site like a long time ago, and then they had like they'd kind of blown me off or like ghosted me at some point. And then I randomly got a text and was like, hey, I'm going through my numbers. Who is this? And I was like, oh, we like talked for a bit, blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, okay. And then so we started like flirting and stuff because I always thought this girl was cute and we just never had hung out, right?
Yeah.
And then, and she'd like blown, yeah. And so we were, she had an Instagram account, she had a Snapchat account and stuff, and we were like talking and all that, going back and forth.
She's sending Snapchats to you.
Yeah, yeah. And then, and like, eventually after like a couple weeks, I was like, well, let's go out because we never actually went out the first time we talked.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, all right. And then so we made plans and we went to go like meet up at like a bar downtown or something on a Saturday.
She was local then. She was like here in Austin.
And then I show up and I'm like, hey, I'm here. We talked like 30 minutes before, like, okay, cool, I'll meet you at this time.
Yeah.
And we show up and then like no response. And then I'm like, I text her, I'm like, hey, are you, blah, blah, blah. And I like wait around for a bit. And then she like, no response. And then all of a sudden I get blocked on all the social media and blocked like altogether, like can't get a hold of the person.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, well, I'm gonna have a drink. So I drank and like thought about it. And then I was telling someone about it. It's like, oh. And then we reversed image searched her picture, or they did, reverse image searched her pictures and found that it was pictures of like an Instagram person,
like
a
some
real,
model or
yeah.
person.
And so the person I talked to, but the thing is, it was weird is they were like reposting their stories and like
I was
on
gonna say
Instagram.
like
It was like very
Snapchat
elaborate.
or-
And even with Snapchat, it would be like they would post pictures and stuff, but then also there'd be like Snapchats of like, like more like POV type stuff. So
Yeah.
it felt like very like, it was active, right?
Right.
Yeah, it was like really, really weird.
Oh my God, that's like one of the ones you would see on the television show Catfish.
Yeah. It was like weird. And then like, and then so I messaged the person whose actual Instagram it was. I was like, hey, you just know this person's like catfishing, pretending to be you. And they're like, holy shit. Yeah.
I'm sure it probably doesn't happen.
And then that was your end. You were like, hey,
But
as we're talking,
Yeah,
you wanna go
yeah.
get drinks?
We've technically already like gone on a date or two.
Trust me, we have a great rapport. Let's go out and get
I've tried this once already. with you.
Honestly, you think I'm great, so why not?
Bowsers, man.
I was just like,
Insane.
I don't understand
why.
it because it's like, what I guess they're getting like attention out of it, but like,
It's just
why
people
go?
who I think people just like to mess with other people.
Yeah, they're
It's just
bored.
entertainment.
They're bored and they're sad.
And I understand it on like conversationally, but why go to the trouble of like, hey, let's meet at this time, go here.
Because they just want to fuck with you.
But
I mean, that's got to be it. Or maybe they were there and just watching you
I know.
have
I don't
no
know.
one show up.
Did you go to, wait, Chris. Did this place that you go to, do they serve seafood there? Do they have like a tank of live catfish there?
Oh,
Because it could have been she was there the whole time in the live
Actual
tank
catfish.
next to the lobster's like, notice me, please. And then, realized that she never be able to live up to your expectations and
Yeah.
just decided to cut ties there.
There you go.
I was like,
It's
when
happened
you
a
said that,
million
because
times.
it
It's
was
happened a million
a
times.
sushi place, so I was like, wait, what? I was like, did it happen?
Dude, you offended her. Clearly, that's what happened. You got to be thinking
had
she's
your
such a
chance.
head.
Catfish was on the menu that night.
Yeah.
That's a shitty sushi place.
They got catfish. Ooh.
That's
Catfish nugget rolls.
bad for you. That's so sad.
That sucks, man.
You've had some bad date stories. Like that one where all the old ladies were
Yeah.
consoling your
I love
date.
there's
I
been
need to listen to
There's
that
been a
one.
few times where I've gone out on a Friday, Saturday night, and I see Chris at a bar on a date.
Oh yeah.
That's happened once or twice. It's like, it's a very interesting
I ran
situation.
into Blaine on Rainy Street one time years ago when he was like getting ready for a date.
Yeah.
And it was like, did you ever see that video of Jack Nicholson right before he kicks down the door in The Shining, just like pumping himself up?
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
No, but it was like that, but like mentally, he was like, hey man, yeah, it's great. Just get ready to go on a date. No, look at me, looking good? Yeah. No. It was really cute, and he was really excited for his
Yeah,
date.
poor
It was
Blaine.
awesome.
You overthink so much.
He
does.
does. Blaine,
Just be yourself,
hey, Blaine,
everybody.
if you're listening to me, I love you, and everybody loves you. You don't gotta worry so much, bud.
Never show him this clip ever.
We don't love you, Blaine.
Okay.
Just kidding, we do.
Restaurant vision disaster.
Oh,
That's a good one.
jeez.
Restaurant vision disaster. This is not the coolest story, but this happened recently.
It's a story.
I was out of town at a convention, and we were at a restaurant, and there was someone who was carrying way too much fucking dishes. This is like one of my pet peeves, when I see a waiter who's like trying to impress people by carrying 87 plates.
Yes.
And, 20 full glasses of liquid.
Right.
Yep. While journaling.
Yeah, and I remember seeing there was a waiter who was carrying a tray that must have had at least 10 plates of full meals, plus drinks and everything like that.
Good Lord.
Saw him carrying it across the restaurant, and I was just looking at it going like, that's gonna fucking fall. Like I know fucking physics, and that is going to fall.
Listen, I know science.
I have studied physics. And sure enough, he fucking turns the corner, and this thing just goes tip and just psh, and he's like on the ground, like trying to pick stuff up, like going like this, like fuck, like trying to clean everything up, and everyone's trying to help him, and I was just sitting there. I wanted to go help, but I was also like, I saw that coming.
I have a question.
I
though.
mentally told you to stop.
I mentally
Flew too close to the sun, Icarus.
Yep.
Have any of you? Oh, I know you worked at Burger King, but do any of you have any serving experience?
I have this experience. When I was in high school,
This is not a restaurant.
I was going to apply for jobs and was filling out many resumes. And when I got to Olive Garden, I imagined myself doing anything physical that requires coordination. And I went, I don't want to get someone killed, and I did a hard pass. That's the closest I ever came to it.
Well, because I was going to say, I bet Texas might know the answer to this. Is that I don't some restaurants like make people carry as much as you can?
Well, a lot of them will make you carry trays now specifically because of the fact that they don't want, because a lot of them are hot.
Yeah.
You can't carry them on your arm because
Yeah.
that's happened before to me.
Well, because I always get annoyed at the waiter
Yeah.
who tries to memorize the order. Because I'm always like, you're gonna pick it up.
yeah.
But I know there's a lot of restaurants who are like, you have to do that. Like you
Yeah.
are bound.
But I get so stressed out.
Oh,
Yeah.
me too.
I like, it's to the point where I'm like, could I write this down and hand it to you?
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to fuck this up.
I didn't not it was I worked at ice cream place.
Baskin Robbins.
No, it was Marble Slab.
Well,
For you, one
Yeah.
for me. One for
Yeah.
That's good for you.
I didn't break it per se, but I did one time melt all the ice cream in the entire store.
Now, okay. I feel like that is the only way you can break ice cream, though, Chris. I'm
only
sorry,
way.
but like that's literally the only way you can break ice cream.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't drop it on the floor and it
Well, so
cracks.
yeah, so like at the end of the night, you what you would do is you'd flatten all the ice creams and then
Yeah,
put
I
wax
know, of
paper on
course.
it, so
I
that
mean,
it's
I
like,
don't know.
You guys
but
put wax
I
paper?
trust
yeah,
you
you flatten the ice cream so it's flat, and then you cover it with wax paper so it didn't get like freezer burn.
Right.
But it was really cold, and so a trick we figured out was like you turn off the freezers like 30 minutes before you close, so you can flatten it down real easy, and it saves you time.
Okay, that's not
And-
hard.
The problem is if you don't turn the freezer back on, all
Right.
the ice cream melts.
Yes.
So then I got a call the next morning that was like, Chris, what happened to all the ice cream? And I was like, yeah, that was my bad.
Hey, quick hot tip. This is how because I'm a very, very forgetful person. If I ever like have leftovers, and I bring them back here to work in like the office fridge, and I want to make sure I don't go home without it, I put my keys in the fridge so I can't leave without it. That's a great tip. If you're a young filmmaker and are using someone's home, you got to turn off the fridge so it doesn't make white noise. Put your fucking keys in the fridge so
Yep.
you don't forget to plug that shit back in.
Yep.
Just take that information and spread it
I
everywhere.
feel like that's happened.
Did you get
Yeah,
fired?
leave your keys with something you need. Yeah, did you get fired?
No, I didn't get fired.
It's
I
Marble
was too
Slab,
important.
come on.
I was too important.
All right. Do they have backup ice cream? I'm assuming.
No, but what I did do was go in the next night and make ice cream from midnight till 5 a.m.
That's
Well,
a
good
good
on you.
punishment.
Yeah, I mean, it was like once the store closed, I just was like, all right, I'm gonna go make some ice cream.
I imagine that scene from Elf where like Will Ferrell's character shows up overnight and like makes the mall like amazing, except like you with ice cream and like maybe a little
Yeah.
bit of tinsel.
It turns out it's just,
Maybe a little bit of tinsel.
it's just milk with chocolate chips
Yeah.
in it.
It was.
I made this for you.
Eat up.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
Yo, roll them dice.
I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll it. Oh man. Soulmate, far, far away witness.
Oh, Todd, did you ever send someone away? You sent that girl away.
Oh, I've talked about that. I've talked about that.
What?
I've talked about that. It wasn't Antarctica. I wish it would have been
Oh.
Antarctica. She's back in Texas now, but had I sent her to Antarctica, she wouldn't have been back. I've told the story. I'll tell it again, very briefly. I once had an ex-girlfriend who the only way I could find to break up with her was to send her to Alaska.
Alaska, that's the one.
Yes,
Not
Alaska.
Antarctica.
What does that mean? How do you break up with someone by sending them?
Can I guess?
Sure.
Can I take a guess? Sure. She had an opportunity to pursue something in Alaska, and you're like, you should totally do that. That'd be great for you.
Ding, 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 Miles. You have won our dice.
Very good.
Thank you.
That's for you.
It's for
That's exactly what
me.
happened.
Oh, so sharp. Oh God.
I had an ex who I've briefly mentioned before on the show. She was the same one who gave me a scavenger hunt that I absolutely hated. She moved in with me unwillingly. I did not want her to. And then I was trying to, basically, it was after she had graduated college. We were trying to find a job for her. And so I started looking as far away. Where did that dice go? Far away as possible, because I didn't know how to break up with her, because I'm a terrible person. So I started looking for different opportunities and literally found her dream job in Alaska. And I said, you have to do this. And she said, what about us? And I said, we'll figure that out.
Yo, that was an omen. It was meant to
It was an omen.
Wow.
And I said, don't worry. Shh. Don't you worry your pretty little head. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
And then,
Right off
and
to
then
Alaska.
did you figure it out?
No, about 2 weeks after that, I said, you know what? I just don't think this is going to work out.
And then,
But listen, she got great Instagram pictures out of it in front of mountains in Alaska.
So you're welcome.
Yeah.
career, so
Her
important.
career is great. Yeah.
You know, some may say she got to step in.
She got to step
And
in.
you know what you used to step with?
What do you use, Barbara?
Some good shoes.
That's right.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I had to Google what yeet meant the other day. I feel older by the second.
What does it mean?
I think it's like to it's like to get rid of something
yes.
like with
So-
gumption.
This is a great story. It originated, bless you.
You threw up. It sounded so liquidy.
Chris just
So
sneezed.
it originated, I think it originated with a Vine of this girl being handed a drink, and she's like, oh, do you want, I think she says literally, Terry, do you want some? And she grabs it, and she's about to take a sip, and she says, this bitch empty. Yeet. And she yeets it across.
Yeet.
So I had a friend recently who was like, well, what is yeet? What does yeet mean? And she found a picture on the internet, which was a girl who said, she's like, oh, this is my birth control case, and it's a woman throwing a baby. And she said, is this yeet? I said, that is yeet.
That's yeet.
You're just throwing it out.
I thought it was another way of saying like yes.
I think it can be used
Or
for
is that
many a
just
thing.
yeet without the T?
Yeet.
I don't know. Look, language is evolving every day. I've been seeing people use the phrase "dead ass" a lot very
Deadass is
recently,
coming
and
back.
I love it. I'd never heard dead ass.
Oh,
until
dead
just
ass is a
recently.
very like New York, like Northeast thing. Dead
I like it.
ass.
I
Dead ass serious.
I like it.
Dead ass. But
Well,
yeah.
let me tell you about
yeet.
some of these shoes that you could get stepping in.
Some dead ass shoes.
Yeah, boy. This episode of Always Open is brought to you by Rothy's. Are you ready to try on the most comfortable flat you've ever worn that you could wear all day, every day, for any occasion? Seriously, you're never gonna want to take them off. Can confirm. I wore them the other day and I love them. I ordered the sneaker style and I love it. They're super comfortable and stylish, enough for all kinds of different outfits. Rothy's is the everyday flat for life on the go. It's stylish, classic, comfortable, and comes in 4 fashionable styles. You got the flat, you got the point, the loafer, and the sneaker for women and girls. The colors and pattern selections are amazing, and they're always updating their lineup. They launch new colors every few weeks and sell out constantly. You have to check these shoes out, and you're going to want to tell every woman you know about them, guaranteed. It will blow your mind that they're made from recycled plastic water bottles as well, because they're the softest shoes you'll ever put on your feet. You could feel good about wearing them as well. Yeah, I have the white sneakers, and they are, like, I put them on and they fit instantly. Usually you gotta like wear some shoes in a little bit in order to avoid like blisters and all that stuff, but these just like super soft, super comfortable. I can't believe they're made from recycled water bottles. Shocking.
Can't believe it.
I love my Rothy's, and I know you will too, audience members. Right now, Rothy's has an amazing deal for our viewers. If you use the code OPEN, you could get free shipping with no minimum. So free shipping and free returns / exchanges on your Rothy's shoes. And trust me, you won't want to return them. You'll keep them. So go to rothys.com, that's ROTHYS.com, and enter the code OPEN to get your new favorite flats and free shipping. It's a no-brainer. Shoes that are comfortable, stylish, and sustainable. And free shipping. Get yourself a pair today at rothys.com, promo code OPEN. Get this deal while it lasts. Ba-bam. I'm gonna wear them this weekend as I walk around the town.
Do it.
Walk around
You
the
won't.
city. Oh, I will.
Send me pictures.
Pixar, yeah, Pixar didn't happen. Barbara.
I will.
Great.
Cool.
Good.
I will.
What's next?
You're gonna get a text from me this weekend of just my shoes.
You know our Rooster Teeth, the Rooster Teeth slides that we have.
Oh, yeah.
I wear them, or they're like my house shoes. I wear them around. And my girlfriend Laura hates them because my toes stick out of them a little bit and it makes her so uncomfortable. So like, here's my toes. Here's like the shoe at the bottom.
Oh,
of it.
you
So
mean
my toes just like hang
off
out.
the
My toes
side?
hang over. And so occasionally I'll just send her pictures of that. She's just like,
That's
I'm
so
gonna burn
good.
those shoes. I'm like, do it. I'll just get another pair.
I was a little sad because when you said the Rooster Teeth slides we have, I was like, we have slides? I was like, I thought you meant like,
no one's told
like-
me.
it's like, where do we have these slides?
See, my brain went to like PowerPoint slides.
Me too.
Yeah, but yours went to a fucking slide.
God, you're so pure.
Of course it did, Chris.
I love Chris. All right, well, last but not least, we'll do our box of issues. Bam! The guy who made this, Aiden Yardley Jones.
Aiden Yardley Jones.
We already broke it.
I know. Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry.
We're the worst people.
We'll fix it.
Monsters.
But it still works. You can still reach in there. This still works.
Oh,
But yeah,
it was Eric's fault.
yeah,
Whoa! Immediately
No.
shifting blame.
It wasn't. I just like to blame Eric for.
well, isn't that a job as a producer? Is that they take all the blame?
There you go.
Don't let them walk all over you, Eric.
If I'm not gonna blame myself, I gotta blame you, Eric.
We'll give you some Rothy shoes to walk all over us.
There you go.
All right, this one comes from Ethan L.
Cool.
And Ethan writes, I started a new coaching job a couple months ago, and I am crushing on my assistant coach. Now, I know the best thing to do in this situation is always just tell them how you feel and see what happens, because rejection isn't as bad as it sounds. But I also don't want to make the rest of the season awkward or anything, since it's a coworker, you know? If it matters, I'm a college graduate coaching for my old high school team, and my assistant coach is a sophomore in college here in town, which seems like a barrier to me, but I also tend to overthink these things. Should I say something, wait until the end of the season, or just forget about it?
You had it. You had it. You had it. In my humble opinion. Wait for the end of the season.
Yeah.
Win the big game, get the Gatorade dunk on you, or Powerade. We're not brand loyal here. And have yourself a good old time, and then after it's all said and done, you came here, you did your job. That's when you say, like, and it can be a Hollywood moment, like, hey, we really did it, huh? We should be so proud of our people. Hey, but listen, you want to go, my brain just searched for a place of where to go for a date. My brain went, you want to go to Mr. Gaddy's Pizzeria? The children's pizza place? That's
got a slide.
We'll take the whole slide. We got to hit up Gaddy Land. Let's go.
Take me to Gaddy Town, Daddy.
Daddy.
Be my Gaddy Daddy.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
But no, I feel like he's got it. You
Yeah.
should wait to the end of the season.
The only thing I worry though is he said he's the coach and she's the other person
Assistant
is the
coach.
assistant coach.
Yeah.
That seems like a bit of a little power
Power?
imbalance
Right.
there.
Is he
Right.
like her man? Like,
Well,
What did he say
manager?
that they work for? Like
he said college graduate, which means he's probably 22, 23
yes.
on average. And she's she or he is a sophomore in college. So that means, I guess,
Oh, okay.
19, 20.
I'd say
There's
20.
definitely a power dynamic there
Which
going
is,
on.
I mean, but the age difference is not that bad. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like it's something that like you don't think about very often, but it's definitely a thing that exists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, I'd say yeah, you know, wait till the end of the season, and once you guys are no longer in like a coworker relationship, I suppose. I don't know how sports
But that's
work
gonna
is
pick
the
back
thing.
up again,
Well,
and that's the only thing I worry about is that if here's the thing, if they are like co-coaches, then like I find less of an issue with it. But if he is like her manager, so to speak, and
he's
like,
her bra.
if
her
he's
boss.
her boss, then I see an issue with it.
I think if it's a temporary situation, I would wait until the end of the season to make a move.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's.
What sport is it?
Football, I
Does it
think?
say?
I don't know. Oh wait.
I don't know why my brain just automatically
Yeah, it
went
just
to
says
volleyball.
It says
If it's
coaching a high
hockey,
school
go
team.
for it. If it's football, stay away.
I imagine football or basketball, maybe. If I had to guess, it could be any sport. But yeah, especially if just started this job, she's assistant coach. You don't want to go into that being like, "Hey, I like you," and then if that doesn't work out, now it's just this very awkward dynamic between the two of you.
You'll never go to state that way.
Is it also a job or like a volunteer thing?
He
that they're-
said new coaching job, which could be a volunteer.
Yeah, if they're just like volunteers, like it's helping out, then
Yeah.
that feels like
If you're coaching your nephew's little league YMCA game,
that might be volunteer.
go for it.
Yeah, that's a complicated one. I wouldn't say forget about it because you don't want to miss an opportunity of something that could be really good. Maybe first get to know each other a little more.
Yeah.
Actually see if she's single or interested in you. Maybe, I don't know if there's like a mutual friend going who could actually like do some digging and find out a little bit more instead of going right for it.
Sure.
Because, you know, rejection sucks, but I think what's even worse about that is being in a situation that you feel awkward in when you have to be professional.
Right.
Right, and that's one of the things where like dating coworkers or people that you see extremely often, you know, friend groups and stuff like that, you have to be prepared for it to not go well.
Yep.
So you have to like be honest with yourself and be like, okay, if this doesn't go well, if this does not work out, am I going to be okay?
Well, do you mind if I ask? Because you're dating a coworker, as am I. Did you and Ellie ever have the discussion of like, if this doesn't work out, how are we going to handle this?
Yeah, and I mean, it helps a lot that we work in different departments
Right.
and like different buildings and stuff. But yeah, no, it's definitely, it is, you can't just pretend like it's not a thing. It's a thing. And yeah, in this situation, it just seems like with, especially how closely you guys work, like she's your direct assistant, like
Yeah.
that's way too close to risk something like that, in my opinion. Again, I think you wait to the end of the season because I would assume at that point, like there's gonna be a break. And because
Or maybe she won't be coming back.
maybe she won't be coming back
She,
because it's not just like you can't just be thinking about like, oh, is this gonna be awkward with me that I have to work with this person? Like you got to think about her. Like she's gonna have to like, cool, my boss is crushing on me. That's super weird. If you know, she wasn't into it or something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, even still, I think it's just like it seems like the safest bet is just hold your horses, wait to the end of the season, and then you know if those feelings are still there, then yeah, you can
ask her
tell
out
how you
for
feel.
a drink or cup of
That's
coffee.
interesting. They've used very gender-neutral language.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we're not sure on the specifics.
Yeah,
All we
we
know
say
is the
she,
person's
yes,
name
yeah.
is Ethan,
Right.
which typically is a guy's name, so we're assuming. But apologies if we're wrong on any assumptions that we've made throughout reading this question.
Yes.
But I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
I mean, it's hard. There's not enough like specifics in there. It's hard to
Yeah.
say like all these points that we brought up are like important, I think, and
Yeah.
so, you know,
What would you do?
what would I do?
Yeah, if you were in the situation.
I mean,
You were a coach. You're coaching a basketball team.
uh-huh.
Assistant coach.
Am-
Super attractive. You very into it.
Am I that person's like
You're-
boss?
you're-
Like, am I like their manager?
It sounds like you're their boss.
if I'm their boss,
He says
and
coworker, so
If it's a
maybe
co-
it's not.
I mean, coach and assistant coach.
That
Yeah.
implies a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he could be in a different, like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could just be like she's helping and maybe.
that's what I was
doesn't
saying. That
report
like
to
that's a
him.
big thing. If it's like I'm this person's boss and I'm in charge of this person's like pay or whatever, it's like then all of a sudden it's like nah, you should just
Yeah.
like just stay away from that. But if it's like if they're like coworkers and they're like you're saying where it's more like equal footing or they're like she's just
Is this the Jim and Pam or is this a Michael Scott and Pam?
yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Jim and Pam or Michael
and
Scott.
if you haven't seen The Office, then we've got more issues.
I have a hard time watching it, if I'm being honest.
Because
It's
the
a little
cringe.
awkward.
It's really hard. I can't really watch it. Michael Scott's too much for my fragile heart.
So I guess we all agree, wait until the end of the season, until you're done working together.
Just call it a delay of game.
Oh.
That was
Good
good.
analogy.
That works for me.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Ethan.
Yeah.
It's a difficult situation to be in, but hopefully things work out in a way you could be happy with.
Yeah.
And thanks, guys.
Dude,
This
this
has
is
been
so much
wonderful.
fun. I
Miles,
love
thanks
this
for coming back. Chris,
Thank
thank you for
you.
coming back. Me, thank you for being here.
Thank you for being
welcome me.
It's a constant source of love and light in my life.
I try.
And this show. And to everyone watching, thank you for another incredible season of Always Open. You guys have been amazing to us and to each other, and we look forward to entertaining you for many more seasons to come. Next season, we start back up in March, and we might have some new updates for the show that you might see
Stay
potentially.
tuned.
It's in space.
If it's in space. If you come back and the show's the same, it means we couldn't get our act together.
It means we just didn't send emails fast enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Email us at alwaysopen@roosterteeth.com. Call us on the hotline. We'll still be listening. We'll still be reading. So don't forget those. We're always looking at them, and we bank them for the next season too. So.
Yeah. And if you want more Always Open in your life, sign up for a first membership and get the post shows.
Boom.
You get
Watch our post
you
show.
get a whole bunch more Always Open if you're getting some cravings during the off season.
There you go.
My friends, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah.
To another wonderful season.